I lost someone's trust, and now I'm battling myself. I don't even know how to start this without sounding like the villain of my own story. A few months ago, I earned the trust of someone I deeply respect. Let's call her Anna, not her real name, obviously. Anna is the kind of person who doesn't just talk about values, she lives by them. She's straightforward, accountable, and has this calm presence that makes you want to be better just by being around her. When someone like that trusts you, it feels huge. It feels rare. Like, if a person with that level of integrity believes in you, then maybe you're worth believing in. And I did. I really did. But then I messed it up. The trust. It started innocently. Anna had a big exam coming up, but due to a clash, she couldn't make it. She asked me to sit in for her. I know, already a bad call. It was risky, but she trusted me to handle it. And because I respected her so much, I said yes. That yes felt important. It was like she handed me a piece of her armor, expecting me to guard it. And then when the day came, I failed. I missed the exam. Not because I wanted to sabotage her, not because I didn't care, but because of some mix of poor planning, overconfidence, and honestly, me being careless. I can make excuses all day, but at the end of it, I didn't show up. She lost a grade because of me. And worse, she lost a piece of the trust she'd given me. The fallout. When I told her what happened, she didn't yell. She didn't even get mad. She just looked at me, nodded, and said, "It's okay." But it was. Not really. Because I could feel the shift. You know when someone smiles at you, but the smile doesn't reach their eyes anymore? That's what it felt like. The warmth was gone. The closeness was gone. And the worst part, we're neighbors. I see her almost every day. The casual chats, the laughs, the easy trust that once filled the space between us, now it's just polite small talk, awkward nods, a wall that wasn't there before. The realization. Here's the thing I keep coming back to. Once you break someone's trust, especially someone who lives by strong values, it's never really the same again. With people who are more easygoing, the ones who bend their own rules a little, you might get a second chance. Because deep down, they know they've slipped too. They forgive more easily because they can relate. But people like Anna, people who build their lives on accountability, principles, and discipline, breaking their trust feels different. It feels final. Like, even if they forgive you, the ledger is forever marked. Maybe they'll give you 99% again, but never 100%. Not the pure, unconditional trust you once had. And that realization has been eating me alive. The battle with myself. The problem now isn't even with Anna, it's with me. I replay it in my head over and over again. The moment I missed the exam, the look in her eyes when I told her, the way her voice sounded when she said, "It's okay." Every time my stomach drops, every time I hate myself for it. And the worst part, I can't undo it. There's no reset button, no apology big enough, no act of kindness that can erase the fact that when it mattered, I failed her. So I've been stuck in this loop of self-blame and regret, wondering, how do you make peace with yourself after you let someone down like that? How do you keep living next door to them, seeing their face almost daily, knowing you'll never get back what you lost? Why it hurts so much? I think part of why this hurts so much is because I know Anna is rare. Most people, you know how it goes. They say one thing, do another. They preach values but live in contradictions. But Anna, she is her values. That's why her trust meant so much. And that's why losing it feels like losing something sacred. If it were anyone else, maybe I'd shrug it off. Maybe I'd convince myself they'd get over it. But with Anna, I know better. She might forgive me, but she'll never forget. And every time I see her, I'm reminded that I'm the one who broke something I can't fix. Moving forward, or trying to. So now I'm here, writing this at some ungodly hour, trying to figure out how to move forward. Do I keep punishing myself? Do I just accept that I'll never get back to 100% and try to live with 99%? Or do I let it change me, force myself to never take someone's trust lightly again? Because the truth is, I don't want this to define me. I don't want to be the person who can't be trusted. But right now, that's how I feel. I keep asking myself, is there a way to forgive yourself when the other person's forgiveness isn't enough? Or do you just carry it forever as a reminder? The question. So I guess this is my confession. I lost someone's trust, and now I'm battling myself. Has anyone here ever gone through something like this? Losing someone's trust, not because you betrayed them on purpose, but because you failed them when it mattered. How did you move forward? How did you stop replaying it in your head? How did you make peace with yourself? Because right now, I don't know how. I was snowboarding in Minnesota, and I can't stop thinking about the guy I helped. So this happened recently at Lutsen in Minnesota. If you've ever been there, you know it's beautiful, cold air that bites your cheeks, trees all around, and that mix of excitement and nerves when you're standing at the top of a run. I was riding one of the chairlifts and going down the same run over and over. Nothing unusual, just enjoying myself. But something caught my eye. Every single time I got off that lift, there was this one snowboarder sitting at the top. Same spot, same position, just sitting. At first, I thought maybe he was resting or maybe waiting for someone, but then I noticed it kept happening. Not once, not twice, like 5 times in a row. That's when I started to get this uneasy feeling. Finally, on my next run, I decided to check on him. I snowboarded over, leaned down a bit and asked, "Hey, are you okay?" He looked up, kind of wincing, and said, "I messed up my shoulder." Something about the way he said it made me pause. It wasn't dramatic, no yelling, no panic. Just this quiet, almost defeated tone, like he knew he was hurt but didn't want to make a big deal about it. So I started asking questions. Do you have anyone here? Can you call someone? Do you need ski patrol? That's when he told me he was alone. His family was back at their ski and ski out hotel down the hill. And honestly, my heart kind of sank. Here's the thing, I'm a woman, about 108 pounds. He looked maybe 135. Not huge, but heavy enough when you're trying to lift someone in full snowboard gear on a slope of packed snow. Still, I couldn't just leave him there. Helping him up was awkward. It took more than one attempt, me tugging, him trying not to twist his shoulder. At one point, I almost fell backward and slid a little, which we both laughed at despite the situation. Eventually, though, we got him standing. He said he could ride down just slowly, so that's what we did. That run, which usually took me a few minutes, felt like forever. I stayed right behind him the whole way, watching carefully in case he wiped out. Every little wobble made me hold my breath. The snow crunched differently when you're moving that slow. I could hear him breathing heavily, sometimes gritting his teeth when the slope got a little steeper. But somehow, we made it down. At the bottom, there was this path that led toward his hotel. That's when the next challenge hit me, getting both of our boards and walking him up the hill. So I unstrapped his bindings, unstrapped mine, and picked up both boards. Let me tell you, carrying 2 snowboards in boots on a snowy incline is no joke. My arms were screaming, but in the moment, adrenaline just pushed me through. We finally reached his hotel, and his dad came rushing out. The relief on his face was something I'll never forget. He thanked me, like really thanked me, and took his son inside. And that was it. No dramatic ending, no ski patrol rescue at the time. Just me walking away, kind of exhausted, but also weirdly emotional. But here's the part that stuck with me. A couple of runs later, I was back on that same chairlift, gliding over the hotel. And that's when I saw them. Ambulances. Parked right outside, lights flashing against the snow. I froze, my stomach dropped. Was it him? Did his shoulder turn out worse than he thought? Was there something more serious going on? I'll never know for sure, but every time I think about it, I picture that kid sitting up at the top of the run, alone, waiting for someone to notice. I keep replaying the whole thing in my head. How many people had gone past him before I stopped? How long would he have sat there if I hadn't said anything? And now I keep wondering, did he end up okay? Did the hospital take care of him? Was he back on the slopes the next week? Or did that injury change his season, maybe even more than that? I guess I'll never know. But I do know this. Sometimes you cross paths with a stranger for a tiny slice of their life, and it ends up sticking with you way longer than you expect. We finally reached his hotel, and his dad came rushing out. The relief on his face was something I'll never forget. He thanked me, like really thanked me, and took his son inside. And that was it. No dramatic ending, no ski patrol rescue at the time. Just me walking away, kind of exhausted, but also weirdly emotional. But here's the part that stuck with me. A couple of runs later, I was back on that same chairlift, gliding over the hotel. And that's when I saw them. Ambulances. Parked right outside, lights flashing against the snow. I froze, my stomach dropped. Was it him? Did his shoulder turn out worse than he thought? Was there something more serious going on? I'll never know for sure, but every time I think about it, I picture that kid sitting up at the top of the run, alone, waiting for someone to notice. I keep replaying the whole thing in my head. How many people had gone past him before I stopped? How long would he have sat there if I hadn't said anything? And now I keep wondering, did he end up okay? Did the hospital take care of him? Was he back on the slopes the next week? Or did that injury change his season, maybe even more than that? I guess I'll never know. But I do know this. Sometimes you cross paths with a stranger for a tiny slice of their life, and it ends up sticking with you way longer than you expect.